my comment as I listen to some of the things I hear out of Washington is just I fear that there's a lack of knowledge. There's a lack of information about how crypto really works. And I think it does a disservice to responsible actors like Ripple who are working with governments, with sanctions. Everything that is enforced from a sanction point of view through fiat currency, anything that Ripple does is enforced in the exact same way. So there's no different level playing field. And I think in some ways, I heard Senator Warren saying things yesterday that felt like it's holding crypto to a different standard.
Hey everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. That was Ripple's CEO, Brad Garlinghouse. Of course, he was on Fox Business News. And what he's talking about is that different standard that is trying to be spun. It's a narrative that puts crypto into a black box of mystery, when actually, as the CEO of Coinbase tweeted out today, crypto is more traceable than using cash, art, gold, or other assets. So using crypto to evade sanctions, that talk is, I think, a strategy to justify some strong hand regulation. And as you read in the different headlines, there are a lot of people falling for that narrative. And talking about regulations, Gensler was talking to the editor-in-chief at Yahoo, Andy Sewer, and I have two short clips for you. I know if you are so sick and tired of seeing Gensler, don't worry, they're very short.
If you're raising money from the public's anticipating some profit based on the efforts of those folks raising the money, that comes within the definitions of a security and the securities laws. And it's kind of straightforward. Congress saw that was an opportunity to mislead the public, to sell a sham transaction, that the public could make a decision, the basic bargain, the public gets to decide on their investments as long as those promoters raising money are giving full and fair disclosure. And there's basic laws about protecting against fraud, in essence, lies about what's going on. And yes, many crypto tokens have been found in the past to be securities. And I'm not trying to prejudge any one token, but probability weighted, there are many of these tokens on these platforms.
Well, so what's the probability then of you waving a wand and saying, okay, you guys are now...
I don't think the law is clear.
Yeah.
The law is clear. It's not about waving a wand. Congress spoke about this in 1934. They amended these laws multiple times since over 9 decades. And a platform that has securities on it is an exchange. It's a question whether they're registered or they're operating outside of the law, and I'll leave it at that.
Gensler appears to be losing his cool, doesn't he? Well, back to the video in which Brad Garlinghouse appeared on Fox. It's about 5 minutes long. It's very good. I'll put a link to it in the description below. He did go on to talk a little bit about SWIFT and also the lack of liquidity that Russia would encounter if it did try to use crypto to evade sanctions. And Liz Klayman, man, is she doing a good job at getting up to speed on the SEC versus Ripple case. I was very impressed. And last but not least, I'm looking at a very beautiful card by Stetis, and he took a quote from that interview, and it is from Brad Garlinghouse that on Monday, that was the last day of the expert testimony, and the case continues to move forward. We are expecting some decision from the court sooner than later. So that is also, I know everybody is watching because it just has such a tremendous impact on the entire space. All right, if I'm going to jump to just a headline that caught my attention, and that was today, Genesis Digital plans a 100% clean energy mining center in Sweden. Now, they're going to use 42% from nuclear energy. And I asked the honest question because I have to tell you, I just don't know that. I didn't know that that nuclear was considered a clean energy, but I now understand. Thank you to everybody who put comments in my Twitter feed and also put links to videos. I watched them all, so I really appreciate it. I feel like I know a whole lot more than I did when I read this headline to begin with. I'm just, you have to remember I am in Japan, and Fukushima is still very, very much a fresh memory for me. And so I have a hard time thinking of it as clean energy, but I do now understand a whole lot more. So thank you again. And what was ironic is that as I tweeted that out, we had the situation with a lot of fighting going on next to a nuclear plant in Ukraine. There's going to be an IAEA update press conference on that in about 20 minutes. So I really do hope that everything is safe and back in control. It has affected the market negatively, not surprising, because markets really hate uncertainty, and that's exactly what we have. So BTC is trading just around the mid to high $40,000 range, but I think you can expect more volatility until, who knows? Nobody knows where this is all going. But the market did lose about 5% in the last 24 hours. And I know everyone's just paying attention to all the current events. So in this video, there is more big news coming out of Japan with using the Ripple technology. And I'm also going to show you how the on-demand liquidity, ODL, which uses the digital asset XRP, is actually executed on a RippleNet dashboard. And for the people who are interested in the Liquidity Hub, we've got a new article, and it came from the American Banker. And then finally, Attorney John Deaton, believes that the Judge Tortoise is not going to reverse the decision on the Hinman emails. All right, everybody, let's get right to it. As of March 3rd, we have 4 new banks in Japan using Ripple technology. This is through the use of the MoneyTap app. That would be a mobile app that makes your transfers happen. And this is about banks giving that capability, that mobile app capability, to their customers, so you can see the network effect. This is using the distributed ledger technology, and it is giving those banks the ability to get into that next generation financial infrastructure, and they can take advantage of all those financial services. This is part of the building of the 4th mega bank for Mr. Kitao. He's the CEO of SBI, the largest outside shareholder of Ripple. And this laying of rails is so important because you can see in their announcement that SBI is going to continue to expand on the functions of MoneyTap, and that will utilize the entire infrastructure, which includes RippleNet. And when you get into the RippleNet ecosystem, you have the option to use on-demand liquidity. Let me show you what an on-demand liquidity dashboard looks like. Here is an example dashboard where you can choose that corridor you want to transact in. You can choose your RippleNet partner. You can request that connection, get that confirmation of the connection, send a personal message, include documents, finish your KYC, which is Know Your Customer. You have all the connection options to make that transaction happen, including whether or not you want to use on-demand liquidity, which uses the digital asset XRP. You can see here that in this example, the Philippine bank here shows that ODL is supported. And yes, with a big support, if you want to transact where you have the regulations in place and there is sufficient liquidity, and you choose an ODL supported RippleNet member, then that means you've got XRP in use. And this is also, you have to understand that in addition to the liquidity and the regulations, you have to have that facilitator helping, whether that's an exchange or you've got the optional wallet that can be drawn off of on demand and then used as a bridge. It will have an impact on this circulating supply. Yes, there are lots of corridors and there is lots to go still. So I can tell you that it's on the right path. It is moving in that direction. and it is now beyond a vision. On-demand liquidity is actually being used. Let's talk Ripple's Liquidity Hub. This is the American Banker, an article that was published on March 3rd, inside Ripple's plans for mainstream crypto payments. And then we have this article here, inside Ripple's plans for mainstream crypto payments. They're featuring Cindy Young, and she is talking about the Liquidity Hub that was announced in late 2021. It is going to provide this shopping for promoting and holding digital belongings geared towards the enterprise companions in Ripple's blockchain community. Enterprises can simply and effectively supply quite a lot of belongings from their broader crypto market, Young mentioned, and also they'll be able to consider the Liquidity Hub as an aggregator akin to what Google Flights or Kayak does for Journey. How about that? That is interesting. We are slowly beginning to understand what this Liquidity Hub is all about. And finally, let's talk about this opinion that Attorney John Deaton has in regards to Judge Torres reversing the decision on whether the 63 Hinman emails are a personal decision over to they are actually an opinion of the division from the SEC. The SEC is changing their horses in the middle of the stream. Well, I don't think she's going to reverse the decision, because if you take a look here, you're not allowed to offer an affidavit in support of a motion for reconsideration without court approval. And the SEC did not get court approval. And Judge Torres, her court is very strict. She's very strict with the rules. He has firsthand experience. So I think these 63 Hinman speech emails are going to remain his personal opinion. And so therefore, there is a really good chance that we're going to be able to view them. Wow, just can't believe it. Yeah, it's unbelievable, really. All right, everybody, let's jump to the fluff. There's a brand new movie that's coming out. It's a Brad Pitt movie, and it's got the attention of Japan because most of the movie is being filmed inside a bullet train, or what is called a Shinkansen. And we have a brand new Shinkansen that is coming to Nagasaki. It's called the Kamome, and it means seagull. We have been following this train for a long time because trains, when they are in their concept phase, they make a lot of these renderings and drawings, and everybody just oohs and ahs and wonders, is it really going to be this nice? This is one of those drawings that was made to let everybody get excited of what is to come. Well, we have now seen the interior. And this is just regular class here. Let me show you what a little bit of a detail. Here is a standing room by a big picture window. And also look at the floor. Look at this beautiful wood floor. Wow, I can't even believe it. This is probably one of the nicest trains I've seen in terms of just it's not a long distance overnight train. This is just a bullet train that you might jump on for a couple of hours. So, wow, this is really luxurious. And what is really interesting is the way they moved it from when it was built. They actually moved it by water. And here you can see that even when it was moved, there was a lot of attention, and the train otaku, as they're called, came out in droves to take photographs and go alongside. These are the really hardcore train enthusiasts in Japan. It's really easy to become one of these. Oh, it's just really going to be fun. I can't wait. This is definitely on my bucket list. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.